Today I want to share with you a video of how I supported a client in reversing his A1C, his LDL, less than 7 weeks, and how he did and made those improvements just by lifestyle changes. Oftentimes we believe when we have a medical concern, we have to take drastic steps. And although it may be drastic compared to what you're doing now, you can make some simple, subtle changes in your lifestyle and nutrition that can reap dividends for you in the future. So I want to share this information with you. We're going to go look at some of his labs in the beginning and some of his stats and just some basic things that he did. Education is key, but also execution is the magic bullet. So you can know as much as you know, but if you don't put it into practice, it's not going to change anything. So again, it is my goal to optimize my health and performance while reducing my reliance on the healthcare system, and I hope I can encourage you to do the same thing. So let's jump into my computer. Okay, here I am sharing with you a case study of a client that I assisted in helping him with quite a few things, but today I want to talk about his LDL and his A1C, and where he started and kind of what we went through to kind of get him to, in less than 8 weeks, of his numbers changing numbers improving without being on any statin drugs and not doing anything crazy. And I hope that this would encourage you that if you are right now having issues in your body, number one is to go get tested, whether you're showing signs and symptoms of being sick or not. I want to encourage everybody to go get tested. And the second thing is, it doesn't take a lot. It just takes you being willing to make some changes and to execute on a plan in spite of what a doctor tells you. Okay. So this is a male who is 68 years of age. He started out at 222 pounds. And this is his journey. His first labs were drawn on January 3rd, 2025. He had a metabolic panel done, a cardio IQ. Again, his starting weight was 222 pounds. His cholesterol was 208. His LDL is 119, and his A1C was 5.9. And those two numbers, I'm not giving you his whole panel, but I'm just going to focus on those two numbers. 24th of January, he had a CAC and a calcium score test done as well. I'm not going to talk about those numbers because they were extremely elevated, and that's a work in progress. If you have a calcium score or a calcium score test done, and you show that you have a lot of calcified plaque in your arteries, it is a process to get that down. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, but there's so much you need to do beyond the calcium score, and I just don't want to get into that in this video. And on the March the 7th of 2025, we had those labs repeated. So he is now 198, but as of today, recording this video, which is August the 19th of 2025, he actually is 185 pounds. So he still lost more weight, but for the sake of the labs, he was 198. His cholesterol was 166. And his LDL is 91, and his A1C is 5.7. The doctor that wrote the order for these labs wanted him to go on a statin drug. And I don't know if you know a lot about statin drugs, but they can be very dangerous, right? And although many doctors prescribe them to fix one problem, they create a whole lot more issues for most people. And what he decided was to consider weight of cost on both sides, right? So if you take the statin drugs just because the doctor recommended it for you, there's a risk involved. If you choose just to change your lifestyle and don't get on any medication, there's a risk involved. And this particular client chose to bet on himself. And I am very proud of him for doing so. So although the first labs was drawn in January and the second labs that was reported was drawn in March, it took a little less then 60 days between lab 1 and lab 2. And we reviewed the actual data of the labs. And I want to talk to you about what really made the difference. Number one, he decided that he wanted to live. That's number one. He decided that he wanted to live, and he decided that he wanted to make some changes in his life, and it wasn't going to be dependent upon somebody giving him a prescription. Now, if you are in a place where you need to take prescriptions and your health is at that serious of a basically what I'm saying is that everybody has to make their own decision, and no one can make that decision for you. So whether or not you work with a medical doctor, whether or not you work with any therapeutic partner, someone to come alongside you, you have to be willing to take whatever comes, even if you decide to go out on your own and not do what the doctors say per se. Because here's the issue and the concern that people should have is that even if you follow what the doctors say and you have problems because of the statin, because most doctors are not going to teach you how to change your diet or your lifestyle, they're just going to give you a pill and just call it a day. You have to make a decision. Number one, he wanted to live. Number two, he changed his diet. Very simple changes in his diet, very simple things that he did. Cutting out processed sugars. We've heard it over and over again. Cutting out fried foods. He also incorporated a plant-based diet. And, whether or not you believe in that or not, I know for myself personally and for those who I've helped before, that a plant-based diet, especially if you have cardiovascular issues, is just a good place to start to kind of get everything cleaned out. Not to say that you have to stay on it long term, but it's a good starting place. And then he made some serious lifestyle changes, right? And then obviously understanding and optimizing his understanding of nutrition, learning to cook your foods, how to cook, understanding healthy fats, healthy proteins, healthy carbs. What are those? What does that look like for you? And understanding that your nutrition is going to look different from somebody else because there's no one panacea for each person. You have to now begin to look at yourself and look at the biofeedback for your body. But if you're in a critical situation and you're saying that you're going to change your diet and your lifestyle and nutrition, you need to do whatever it takes to get you over the hump. Point blank, period, right? And you need to go head first to learn as much as you can so you can optimize whatever you need to optimize so you can be better. And the very last thing I want to encourage you all to do is take a look at the videos that I have put out about checking your blood pressure. That is a very inexpensive way to start. I shared also about you can reach out to like places like Quest Labs to they have an a la carte menu for those of you who may not have you're not an established patient with a doctor and you don't know what test to request, that type of thing, and it may take you a while to get into the doctor's office. You can get a starting point. Quest Labs is a great starting point. If you have any questions about that and you need assistance picking out those labs to get started, I'll be happy to do so. You can reach out to me to get that information. And then also, when you pick from Quest's a la carte menu, there's a little fee that they charge in there, is that where you're actually going to have an opportunity to speak to a physician who is going to help you interpret those labs. And depending on your results, I'm pretty sure that person is going to suggest that you may see a specialist on this or that and the other. But if you need assistance with that, please reach out to me. But I think it's very important that each and every one of us know our numbers and just get started.